is absolutely right. And it doesn't matter to me that they haven't turned a profit. When they do, they deserve a bigger share of the basketball-related income.
And I agree with Nneka Ogwumike. Look, it's not just about business. It is about the kind of world we want to live in. And whether they're making money or not, we've got to find a way to promote women's sports so that they get a chance to be in the public eye, so they get a chance to make a profit. The NBA makes plenty of money. Let's put more money into it. Let's treat these athletes as the elite athletes they are, as the elite athletes they are, as the elite athletes they are.
48% from three this season for a Chicago team that Reiner. See, you guys don't know this about my partner, but not only is she an outstanding analyst, but she is an award-winning mathematician.
As the elite athletes they are.
Welcome to tonight's coaching video, guys. Tonight we're going to be discussing the failure that is known as the WNBA, otherwise the Women's National Basketball Association, or as I like to call it, the Women's National Airball League, because I've never seen so many air balls thrown in my life. So this is a league that most people don't even know exists, right? Most people don't watch the WNBA. Most people don't care about it. Most people aren't even aware that they've been in existence now for 25 years. They started in 1997, and they've now been around 25 years, and never in a single season of all of those 25 years have they ever produced a profit. Matter of fact, they are being subsidized almost entirely by the NBA itself. So the NBA is throwing up to $12 million per year at the WNBA to try to keep it afloat. And like I said, this is just one big financial disaster. The WNBA is one big money pit that has never produced a dollar of profit. Yet, every day, I keep hearing on the news, I keep seeing these interviews where a lot of the WNBA players they're now demanding to be paid pretty much the same percentages that NBA players are being paid. But what they're failing to realize is that the WNBA does not generate revenue. They don't generate profit, right? Whereas the NBA does. The NBA makes hundreds of millions of dollars per year. So they have the money to pay their players because fans are paying to see their games. Whereas if you go to a WNBA game, I've never met a single person in my life who's ever attended a WNBA game, much less watched a full WNBA game on television, much less is even aware that this league exists. Nobody watches this stuff. So you cannot pay players if you're not generating profit. I mean, it's just basic business 101. But why does this league stay alive? It's because it's the politically correct thing to do, right? A lot of these companies, these woke companies, I know Nike has thrown money at it. I know there's some politicians who've thrown money at it to just try to keep this horrendous train wreck afloat rather than just bringing it out to pasture and just shooting it dead, because this is just a failure of epic proportions, and the only reason we keep it alive is, especially these days, is because of the culture we're living in, right? And I'm sure a lot of these woke companies, if they pulled out, they would be called out and they would be shamed in the middle of the public square for everybody to basically throw tomatoes at them because, oh, you're not supporting women's sports. But again, I mean, as a business owner myself, as an entrepreneur myself, before I achieved success with my business, I went through 12 failures, right? I went through 12 businesses that made either not enough profit or no profit at all, where it costed me money to operate. And those ones that costed me money to operate, where I wasn't generating any revenue at all, I was quick to just toss out the window, right? And some I let live longer than they should have, right? I kept throwing money at it until I was like, no, I'm done. That's it. That's my limit. So I always have a limit to how much I'm going to spend on a business before I see profitability, right? And if it doesn't produce profit or enough profit by the time I hit this budget that I had in mind for it, it's done. Okay, and that's the way you need to operate, because ideas are a dime a dozen. It's not hard to come up with a great idea if you just keep moving along. But when you try to keep losers, like these losing ideas along that are clearly failing, and you're just throwing money at the situation to try to fix it, you're going to get what you deserve financially. You're going to end up going bankrupt. And when it comes to the WNBA, they're doing exactly that. They can't just let this go. I mean, it's not like they just started a few years ago. No, they've been around since 1997. Some of you were not even born yet. It's been around that long. And so many of these companies, so many of these organizations, so many of these sports outlets have given them so much free promotion, so much clout, so much attention, so much coverage, and it still can't get off the ground. So at what point do we just face the facts that nobody wants to see this and just take it off the air and replace it with something that people do want to see? Why do the customers have to be punished? Why do viewers have to be punished with seeing this thing on the telly when we're switching channels, when clearly nobody wants to see it? I mean, it's gotten so bad that the WNBA is literally, they can't even give tickets away, right? There's so many running jokes about this, how they can't give tickets away for free. Nobody wants them. And yet you have these woke companies and, woke politicians and, woke sports, sports entertainment, like sports media like ESPN, trying to keep this disaster afloat, right? And it's just nothing but an endless money pit that people are, I mean, you might as well just take your money and burn it. Right? That'll be more entertaining than investing it in a league that has never produced $1 of profit in 25 years of business. Nowhere on the planet, guys, will you find anybody who is keeping afloat a business after 25 years that is not producing profit. Okay, this is basic business sense 101. I mean, would you be hanging on to a stock that is costing you $10 to $12 million per year in losses? Would you be that dumb? No, you wouldn't. Just so you could virtue signal? I mean, really, that's what they're paying for. Like Nike, who else is supporting this? A lot of these women-owned companies that are throwing money at this. You're basically paying almost like an extortionist to leave you alone, to not harm your business, to not cancel you. You're paying money so that the woke mob doesn't come after you, because you know that the women's professional basketball is a failing venture. But yet they keep it alive. They keep it alive in the name of political correctness. As you heard the fat dude say earlier in the clip, he was like, "No, we have to keep women's sports alive. We have to do the right thing." How is pumping money into something that has been unsuccessful for a quarter of a century doing the right thing? I mean, how is, telling these women that, you deserve the right to be paid the same as men, when they're not even generating nearly the amount of revenue that the NBA is generating, much less profit? I mean, how is that doing the right thing? You're just basically patting these girls on the head like, they're beneath you, and you're patronizing them, right? It's very patronizing. It's very condescending. So, I mean, why? I mean, it would be cheaper to just be honest with them and go, "Hey, sorry, we tried, we gave it all we got, we invested more than we should have," which at this point in time, after 25 years, losing $10 million to $12 million per year, that's over $250 million that has been lost on the WNBA. $250 million, not to mention a quarter of a century of everyone's time trying to keep this thing afloat that nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to watch, right? All in the name of political correctness. All so that these elites can virtue signal. And if you don't watch it, guess what? They'll shame you for it. "Oh, you're a misogynist. I'm a misogynist." Just like, these movies that Hollywood produces, where they replace the male cast with an all-female cast, like a Ghostbusters or a Mad Max. And because women cannot take criticism on any level, guess what? They They just shame you. They try to do this character assassination on you. What they should be doing is just looking deep within themselves and going, hey, we're producing a product that is inferior, that people are not willing to pay for. Okay, and we need to produce a better product that people will pay for. No, they're never going to do that. Why? Because that would require something called self-awareness. That would require something called putting in the work, which many modern women don't want to do. Told you guys over and over. Modern women want unearned respect, unearned accolades, unearned attention, unearned this, unearned that. So they don't want to have to do the work, and this is no different. Okay, you're producing a subpar product people do not feel is worth enough value for them to whip out their wallets and pay for. So I'm just going to dive into this quick article here just to drive the point home even further. I don't know why they keep this league alive. I mean, the most coverage you'll ever see on the WNBA are essentially troll videos laughing at the lack of play, right? Laughing at the amount of air balls, laughing at the amount of mistakes. I mean, I watch this and I'm like, man, this is like the bad news bears of the NBA. I mean, this whole league is like one big bad news bears, and even the bad news bears weren't that bad compared to the WNBA. It's shocking how bad the play is. But let's read this article. Does the NBA subsidize the WNBA? Of course they do. The WNBA celebrated its 25th anniversary last year. But despite reaching this significant milestone, the league continues to struggle to turn a profit. After 25 years, bruh? 25 years? You still can't turn a profit? So why is this business still in existence? Because it is a business. Why is it still in existence? If this was any other business in the world, it would have been killed a long, long time ago. Especially one that costs, that where you're losing. You're losing. Okay? You're losing $10 to $12 million per year. Right? It costs roughly $70 million to run this league. And, just to add fuel to the fire, the players are wanting to be paid more. All right, let's jump into this. So, the Women's National Basketball League Association held its 25th season last year, and one of the things it has struggled with since its founding is a matter of turning a profit. The WNBA was founded as a female counterpart to the NBA in 1996, and the new league first tipped off in 1997. It started out with 8 teams, and after going through a lot of upheavals, including relocations, it currently has 12. Why did they even expand to 12? You don't expand a business that's failing. I mean, the people behind this should... oh my goodness. Over the years, the league has been hounded by debates about pay discrepancies between the NBA, the WNBA, with female players earning only a fraction of their counterparts' salaries. Again, the lack of just basic self-awareness here. The reason why the NBA players are getting paid what they are is go look at their attendance. Go look at their their ratings on when they're playing games on television. I mean, people are watching. People are paying. People are, on the edge of their seats waiting for the next game. You don't see that with the WNBA. There's just the interest isn't there. The interest isn't there. Over the years, the league has been hounded by debates about pay discrepancies with female players only earning a fraction of their counterpart salaries. Of course, I mean, as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. And this is why you don't want to be out there helping women, because they'll never be happy. They'll find reasons to, attack you for it, or, just create drama out of it. I mean, women are just perfect at creating drama, right? They're designed for drama, and this is no different. If they want to start their league, let them fund it entirely on themselves. What happened to the women supporting women and all this? Apparently, it doesn't happen with the WNBA. Because even a lot of these Hollywood stars that claim to be feminists, claim to, oh, hashtag women supporting women, all this. These same chicks, they're not going to the WNBA games. They're going to the Laker games. They're going to the NBA games, the Warrior games, the Miami Heat. They're not watching WNBA. Okay, I have not seen a single celebrity photographed at a WNBA game so far. This is also part of the ongoing pay equity story about women's basketball in America. Griner, who plays for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury, has played in Russia for the last 7 years in the winter, earning over $1 million per season, more than quadruple her WNBA salary. That's probably because over there, maybe they are watching it. I don't know a whole lot about that, but maybe they are watching it over there where they have the revenue to pay these girls. But here in America, we don't. We can't. You can't expect the owners to give you money that they're not generating, right? And none of them are dumb enough to go into their pockets, their personal bank accounts, and give you that money. They're just going to take it from these bonehead investors and these bonehead politicians and these bonehead woke companies like Nike, who are just have money to burn, so they just keep firing it off at you, just as almost like a consolation prize. Again, just a little patronizing pat on the head there. There you go. There's your little money for playing professional women's basketball and helping the women's movement. But you're never going to get like the dollars, say like LeBron James are getting, or anybody in the NBA. I mean, you're just not going to be making that kind of money because it's not being generated by the business, right? It's just not being generated by the business. So, but I mean, this is just, I love when these feminists just go out and talk about how there's like, a gender disparity in the pay, and, we're not getting paid the same as men and all this, because this argument's already been debunked, right? It's already gotten old, and people are already seeing through the lies that a lot of these feminists and modern women push. And this is why a lot of people are just hopping off board. I mean, most women out there do not want to be associated with feminism, and it's because of things like this. I mean, only the most deranged and most wicked and most evil and most craziest, like far left females would want to latch on to feminism, and that's pretty much what the movement has turned into, was a bunch of just angry, deranged, mentally ill females. Okay, so let's go on. It says the WNBA's lack of profitability. The issue of the players' pay has been a thorny issue. And one aspect of this discussion that has been pointed out is the fact that since it was founded, the league has been operating in the red. Thank you. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver stated in 2018 that the WNBA has lost an average of $10 million each year, each season that it has been in existence, including $12 million in the previous season. So it's lost even more money the last season. So, with any business, I mean, even if they do want to hold on to this, this financial disaster, at least you would want to see the losses declining, right? So we lost 10 million last year. Hopefully this year we only lose 8 million. Next year, hopefully we only lose 6 million. The year after that, hopefully only 4 until we reach profitability. No, they're losing even more money now. Even more money. Why on earth? I mean, do these cowards keep this business alive when it would be so much more inexpensive to just tell these women and the public the truth? Sorry, ladies, we gave it a shot. We dumped more money into this than we should have. We gave you a lot of free publicity. We twisted everybody's arm to cover this stuff that nobody even wanted to see. It's over. Sorry. And then you could save yourself $12 million per year. Right? But no, they keep throwing money at it. Oh, at some point in the future, the tide will turn at some point. If you invest in this, you've got to be the dumbest person out there. The dumbest with the worst financial sense. But at least you can virtue signal. You can virtue signal on your LinkedIn with all your woke friends. The WNBA signed a new collective bargaining agreement with the Women's National Basketball Players Association in 2020, which included a 53% pay raise for players. They got a 53% pay raise for a business that is losing over $10 million per year. You can't make this up. I mean, it is so costly, and it is so expensive to be woke these days, to have to lie to these women, bold-faced lie to them, lie to yourself, live in a state of delusion to keep this thing alive. I mean, you know, it's just astounding to me how cowardly some people are and some corporations are, that they just can't be honest and be like, you know what, I'm not investing a dime in this any further, and you know, God help anybody who does, because this is, like I said, I mean, you're better off either just throwing your money in the trash or having fun with it. Go to Vegas, just put it all on 13 red and just gamble it away. You'll probably make more money gambling than you will investing in the WNBA. I mean, they just came after Elon Musk recently because he bought Twitter, saying you could have taken some of that money and helped the homeless, right? Because you know, I mean, if it was like Jeff Bezos or George Soros buying Twitter, no, they have no problem with it. But because it's Elon Musk and he's been championing free speech lately, he's become the enemy. He's like a far right wing extremist, Trump supporter because he bought Twitter, and then they're shaming him that he could have done something better with the money when he bought a company that, you know, at least is a lot more viable than the WNBA. I don't see why they're not shaming the people who are investing in this, going, hey, you know, why are you investing in this failure of a business when you could be taking that money and helping the homeless? Oh, why don't you do that? Before the new agreement, the average salary for a player was approximately $116,000, and now the base salary is $130,000, with additional bonuses and incentives. And bonuses and incentives for what? They're losing attendance, right? Every year, more and more people become less interested, and this is at a time where even the culture is like rah-rah women. Nobody wants to support this. Where are all those women? Where are you women supporting women? Shouldn't you be going to these games? Huh? Emma Watson? Alyssa Milano? Why are you going to the Laker games? Why aren't you going to the WNBA games? This increase could mean even bigger subsidies for the NBA if the WNBA does not find a way to become more profitable. So you know who pays for this? Men. Men pay. Men are keeping this dog alive, right? Men are paying for this. The NBA, the patriarchy, is supporting and subsidizing the WNBA 110%. They cannot make it on their own. Okay, what have I told you guys? The women cannot succeed without men paving the way. I mean, you know, you're welcome to prove me different, change my mind, show me a movement or show me anything that women have created on their own where it's excelled. Right? I mean, I could think of maybe one or two entrepreneurs. The chick who created that Spanx, whatever, that stuff that these chicks are wearing, she became a billionaire doing that. I can think of her. Good for her. I'm happy for her. But I mean, it's far and few between. Most of the time, what these women do is they will just take things from men, and they will try to create something out of something a man created. Whether, you know, again, it's like a Hollywood movie. I mean, even the James Bond trying to take that from us. You name it. Like, we're subsidizing all of this. Well, not we, but all these beta simps. I mean, these beta simps, I've always said, are responsible for the deterioration of society going on right now because they keep weakening men. They keep supporting stuff like this, and these chicks aren't even appreciative of it, right? They're not sitting there, you know, grateful or thanking the NBA because, you know, you're supporting us and subsidizing our entire league because we're not making any money. No. If anything, they're pissing on him. I just covered a story on my 33 Secrets channel about Aerial Powers, and she had an NBA player, Andre Iguodala, who sent her a tweet after he watched her game. He goes, "Hey, number 23 from the Mystics is nice," right? It's trying to throw her shine, trying to compliment her, and then in response, what does she do? She goes, "Put some respect on my name or keep this tweet to yourself." So this is the kind of backlash you get when you try to help women, guys. You know, they're never grateful. They're never thankful. This is the kind of backlash you get. And there was even a segment where there was another WNBA player, and they were asking her, like, what are, you know, they were trying to give her advice. Like, you know what, maybe if you guys dunked a little more. I think there's been 3 total dunks in the history of the WNBA. I mean, which happens in like 1/4 of an NBA game. I mean, 3 dunks in the last 25 years of operation. And the sportscaster made a fair point. He goes, I think most people tune in to watch people dunk, so maybe if you guys dunked more. And she was like, you just watching to watch me dunk? Hey, what about my other basketball skills? You don't appreciate it, you know. So she started lashing out too. You can't help these women, guys. Don't help woke women. Don't help modern women, because it will always backfire. And to these beta simps, you know, they're basically losing money every year. Just why? Why? Because they can't be honest? Because they can't tell the truth? Okay, they can't tell these girls to their faces that, hey, you know, we can't make fans watch you. We can't go out there and round up fans for your game, which they often do. I mean, I've heard stories like that. They will like go outside the stadium, and anybody who's just standing around, they'll bring you in there for free just to make the stadium look more full. So why even buy tickets? Just stand outside. At some point, though, somebody will come outside and bring you in, right? And just make the stadium seem more full. I mean, this is pretty pathetic. I mean, this is on the level of just ridiculousness. So it goes on to say the WNBA, brighter days ahead. Brighter days ahead after 25 years of unprofitability. There's brighter days ahead. How? Despite their discouraging track record in making money, audience figures from 2021 show that things could be looking up for the league. According to ESPN, the 25th anniversary season saw considerable viewership growth from previous years. That's because most people are just taking clips off of them and making troll videos out of it on YouTube. Most people are just laughing their asses off, and they have to tune in to see if it's actually real, which unfortunately it is. The 2021 WNBA playoffs had an average viewership of 367,000, up 63% from the 2020 postseason and 42% higher than in 2019. Then how did you lose more money than you did the previous season if the viewership is up? So this is when you need to have somebody dig into their actual financials and investigate further, because this is not matching up here. I mean, the fact that you could have a 63% increase in viewership, but you know, a 20% increase in expenses, something sounds fishy here. Aside from ESPN, WNBA games have also begun to broadcast on Amazon Prime Video, which is another way to capture more eyeballs. I'm definitely not watching that on Prime. There's so many other things to watch. On the top of the increased viewership this year, the WNBA for the first time raised funds from investors in an effort to improve its business model. It was able to acquire $75 million. Sad. That's just sad. That's $75 million that's just going to be burned. That's sad. That money could go to so much better use. It could be invested in actual companies that are thriving, companies that are growing, companies that will help society progress forward, technology. I mean, that money could be used just so much more wisely. And here it is, just being thrown and wasted because these cowards just can't tell the truth. I mean, it's so sad. I mean, not only are they lying to the public, but they're lying to themselves and just living in a state of complete delusion. It was able to acquire $75 million that will go towards making the league profitable. After 25 years, it's suddenly going to be profitable? I don't think so. Including marketing and upgrading its digital products. The problem, like I said earlier, is not... It's not the marketing, okay? It's not the digital products. The problem is the product sucks, okay? The product is horrible. The product is undesirable. That's the problem. You cannot market a product that nobody sees value in, okay? That people are laughing at. You can't market something like that. Okay, you could keep. I mean, and this is another financial lesson you learn in any basic business class: is you never throw money at a business problem. You always try to fix it creatively before you even throw a dime at it. And they've had 25 years to try to creatively figure out what's going on. And the reason why they cannot figure it out after a quarter century of being in business, the reason they can't figure it out is because they don't want to look at what's causing all of this havoc in their business, which is the product. The product is inferior. Okay, the product is inferior to the options that people have, which is the NBA. They don't need to watch the WNBA. The product is just not there, right? I mean, you guys saw the clips that I shared with you in the beginning. I mean, the play is, the play is horrendous. I've seen youth basketball teams with better play than that. I'm just saying. Right? I'm just being honest. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to patronize these women and pat them on the head and act like they're inferior and they're like a child. And that's the problem with society today, is we treat women like they're children. And that's why they act like children. Look at them, how they lash out. I mean, even this whole thing with the Ariel and Andre Iguodala. I mean, it's just, this is why they act like children. They act the way they do because you treat them like that. I don't treat women like that. I have enough respect for them to be honest with them. As a human being, regardless of gender, I treat them like a human being, and I'm like, hey, this ain't working. Oh, stop mansplaining. If they ever hit me with that, I'm like, so you can't handle criticism. You can't handle the truth. Right? I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit there and bold-faced lie to them and play make-believe. I mean, it's just shocking me that they've been able to play make-believe for the last, 25 years that they've been failing. It's like, at what point do you sit there and be honest with yourself? I mean, really, how could you spend 25 years, all these people, all these companies, all these investors have spent the last 25 years lying to themselves. Why? So they could virtue signal to the WNBA and all of the all of the woke mob. I mean, especially that fat dude at the beginning of this, like saying, "Oh, it's doing the right thing." No, lying to people and giving them trophies and accolades for something they didn't earn is not doing the right thing, right? The right thing would be telling them that, hey, you know what? You're judged on merit in the real world. You don't get to twist people's arms and hold them at gunpoint to watch you play basketball. It's based on merit. You have to produce a good product, a product that people are willing to transact money for if you want to succeed. So it says here in closing, with more TV exposure for the league. No, they've gotten enough exposure. No, they've gotten so much exposure, it's insane. I mean, you could basically put them on all channels at this point, and people will just turn off their TV sets. So the whole idea of throwing $75 million at this disaster, this financial disaster, giving them more TV exposure, that's not going to help. This league has been around 25 years. Okay, and the only entertainment value that people get out of it is making fun of it, as you saw in the clips earlier. So it says with more TV exposure for the league and more money that can help promote it, the WNBA might just be able to grow its business after 25 years and start making headway in the long road to independence from the NBA. They're never going to be independent from the NBA. What happened to all that? I don't need a man. Oh, women can do it on their own. Oh, we're stronger. What happened to all that? Why are these guys subsidizing you if you're so great? So, yeah, sad. It's sad, but there you go, fellas. A little business lesson for you. I mean, if it's not making money, you got to cut it off. And unfortunately, these people are being held at gunpoint to keep this league alive, because I'm sure if they pull out, they'll have the mob the woke mob in front of their homes with pitchforks ready to burn them at the stake. Is why I don't get involved with woke businesses, woke people, woke movements. I just don't get involved, right? Because it's not, I'm there to make money as an investor. I mean, I've mentioned before, when I look for companies to or businesses to invest in, the first thing I want to see, by the way, is sales. I want to see what your sales have been for the last 5 years. If they've been growing, if they've been flatlining. Well, if they've been flatlining, then there's usually a problem there. But I want to see growing sales. I want to see a track record, right? And if you're not producing sales, I mean, already that's a big red flag, especially after a quarter of a century. I would just laugh in your face. I'd be like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You want me to whip out my checkbook and invest in this? Really? What? It just makes no financial sense whatsoever. I mean, you take the WNBA business model to any business professor in the world, any entrepreneur, anybody who knows anything about money, they will laugh in your face if you even give $1 towards this. They will laugh at you like, why are you doing this? Are you just doing this for social brownie points? Yeah. Okay, well, didn't you do that? You just throw your money away. Go do that. But yeah, so that's what I look for, sales. And then the second thing I look for beyond sales is I want to see management. I want to see what their hiring process is like. And if I go through their hiring manifesto, and if I see anything like, we're a very diverse company, we've got, we're recruiting more women, we have a quota for women, we have a quota for transgenders, we have a quota for, LGBTQ friendly, I'm done. I don't want to see it, because now you're not about making money. You're not about producing the best product possible for the customer. You're about virtue signaling. You're not about, you don't want to succeed. You just want a virtue signal and, be smug and smell your own ass. I'm not there for that. I'm there to make money. If you're there to build a great product, and these companies are becoming very few and far between these days, but they do still exist, where, it's a company and they don't operate as a collective, like everybody get the voice. No, it's one guy on top making decisions, and then he's got a bunch of people who support him, right? I don't like this too many chefs, not enough cooks, or too many Indians, not enough chiefs. No, I want one guy on top, strong leader with a good track record, leading the team. That's what I want to see. And I don't want to see any of this malarkey about diversity and we have quotas for depending on your gender and your sexual preference and your skin color. No, because now I know you're not hiring the best people. Now I know you're hiring based on if somebody's, who somebody sleeps with in the bedroom, or what skin color somebody has, or something like that. That has nothing to do with producing the best product possible that customers are going to be paying for. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm only thinking about the customer. I want to be pleasing the customer. I want to deliver an incredible product, and I want to keep building upon that product and making it better and better and better. But the only way we could do that is if we are focused 100% on doing that, on creating the best product. But if you're focused like 40% on creating the product, making it good, but 60% on how diverse your team is, no, I don't want to take part in that, right? You go throw your money at that. You go throw your businesses like that, like the WNBA, and see how far that gets you. As always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Let me know any thoughts or ideas that you want to share below. If you've ever watched a WNBA game, let me know what you think of it. And let me know about their business model. Would you invest in the WNBA? Just let me know. I'm curious, man. Drop your comments below. I always love to see you guys in my comments. I always love to read them. So drop those comments below. And as always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets signing out. Don't forget to smash that like button. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I've been checking my analytics. A lot of you guys still aren't subscribed to AlphaMaleSecrets, right? So help a brother out and subscribe to AlphaMaleSecrets, right? The original AMS. So hit that subscribe button as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this amazing content I'm teaching you, red pill, gold pill, platinum pill, whatever you want to call it, all this amazing pro-masculine content that I'm teaching you. The best way to support me is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I host on a private platform. And the reason I do that is because I want to protect my premium Alpha Male Secrets content from YouTube in the event they shut me down one day, which they might, right? But either way, I will, all of my premium Alpha Male Secrets content will be protected on a private platform. It is being protected on a private platform, and right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content from me. Take advantage of it. It's the best way to support my work. If you love what I'm doing here, if you love me, support me. All right, it's only $1. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.